Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jacob, and today we are tackling the beast I get asked about constantly, how to efficiently transform a 3-hour podcast into high-performing, snackable social media clips. A big shout out to everyone in the chat right now. Sean, Alex, Val, it's fantastic to see your names popping up as we kick this off. Today we're diving deep into the workflow that takes mountain-sized audio-video files and turns them into a week's worth of ready-to-post content without the editing nightmares. Just to set the scene, I recently recorded a fantastic sit-down session featuring 2 guests, utilizing 3 separate cameras, multiple professional microphones, and a massive amount of raw footage. Honestly, that much content is far more than any single human should reasonably be asked to consume in one sitting, let alone edit. So, our core mission today is simple: meticulously find the absolute best sound bites, generate clean, engaging captions, polish the overall look, and prepare these for various platforms, all while avoiding losing hours inside Premiere wrestling with complex timelines. But before you think this is going to be another tedious tutorial, stick with me, because there is a dramatically easier way now, and I want to walk you through a modern workflow that is both incredibly fast and totally repeatable. I'm going to demonstrate 2 distinct methods for this task. First, the classic, trusted, old-school Premiere Pro route, because most of you probably already know that system. And second, a much smoother, faster approach utilizing a modern platform so you can clearly see the differences side by side. Let's first revisit the initial chaos I was facing on that project. 3 distinct camera angles rolling, main studio mics plus individual lavalier backups, extra safety tracks, and that intimidating 3-hour master file staring back at me. In Premiere Pro, your first instinct is likely to toggle the multicam view, attempt to sync those disparate clips perfectly, and then start scrubbing through what feels like a mountain of footage just to locate that one key comment about systemizing your business operations or that hilarious tangent about generic stock photos. You can transcribe directly within Premiere, which is a massive step forward by turning that long audio into searchable text, and that's incredibly helpful. However, even with transcription, the system still trips you up sometimes, because multicam sequences often require each individual source clip to be transcribed separately, which adds administrative work. Furthermore, consistent caption creation remains a manual headache, where styling captions across 50 different clips usually means setting up repetitive adjustment layers and constantly tweaking font sizes and effects. This process is certainly not impossible, but it becomes painfully slow when you are tasked with creating 50 polished clips for a single show every single week. Now, let's face the reality of social media. Short-form content thrives on retention, meaning people scroll with their sound off, which makes both captions and pacing absolutely critical for success. So, when I am in the process of making these short clips, my main goal is to achieve tight, punchy lines, maintain minimal noticeable pauses, incorporate quick visual cuts, and ensure my caption styling is perfectly consistent across the board, ideally applied in a single batch command. To achieve that look in Premiere, I would typically transcribe the main sequence, create captions from that transcript, then manually change the caption settings to enforce a single line appearance, and set a character length limit. After that, I then have to meticulously style the fonts, add background boxes, apply drop shadows for depth, and even round the corners for a softer aesthetic. It absolutely works, and you can achieve extremely granular control over every single element, which is a benefit to some editors. For my personal style, I prefer a semi-bold weight of Proxima Nova, a subtle drop shadow for separation, and a slightly transparent black background box, so the text really pops against any busy video background. On the positive side, using multicam sequences makes the process of cutting between different angles feel very seamless, which is great for hiding those necessary edits when you are removing pauses or filler words. And finally, applying adjustment layers with specific LUTs helps tremendously in making sure all 3 cameras, Red, Canon, Sony, match their color science for a cohesive look. All of this, while time-consuming, is part of the familiar workflow that many professional editors already know inside and out. But here's the ultimate kicker. That entire workflow is inherently hands-on and must be repeated, clip by clip every single time. If you are only repurposing content for one single show, this repetitive process might be manageable. But if you manage multiple podcasts or are aiming to publish daily, this manual approach simply does not scale effectively. That specific point of failure is exactly where a tool like Vizard completely changes the game and saves you precious hours. Let me clearly break down what Vizard actually accomplishes behind the scenes and precisely how I leveraged it to turn that entire 3-hour episode into a stack of ready-to-post, optimized clips in just minutes, not hours. I primarily rely on 3 core functionalities within the platform: the powerful automated editing for identifying potentially viral clips, the seamless auto-scheduling feature, and the integrated content calendar management tool. But please don't think of these features as a rigid checklist you must force into every single piece of copy. They are simply natural components of a much smarter, more efficient overall content flow. Step 1 in this streamlined process is simply uploading your single, long-form video file into the platform. The platform then immediately guides you through the process of automatically syncing up all of those multiple camera files and all of the associated audio tracks without any manual intervention. This means you no longer have to manually build a complex multicam sequence or worry about duplicating audio tracks just to avoid accidentally losing a critical take from a lav mic. The system intelligently recognizes speaker changes, automatically pulls in the cleanest available audio source, and even uses that audio data to help prioritize which moments are likely highlights. Moving on to step 2, we have the auto transcription and the incredibly useful highlight detection mechanism. The platform's transcription engine is remarkably fast, and I've found it to be surprisingly accurate even with some light background noise present. More importantly, it doesn't just produce a wall of text. The AI analyzes the context and actively looks for specific engagement signals to flag potential viral moments, things like strong, quotable one-liners, genuine emotional peaks, or especially funny conversational tangents. Instead of spending 20 minutes scrubbing back and forth trying to locate that specific gem about systemizing your operations, the tool surfaces that exact moment for you, often providing a preview clip ready for review. You absolutely still get to go in and fine-tune the exact cut point if needed, but the heavy lifting of finding that single perfect needle in the massive haystack of content is completely eliminated. Now we arrive at step 3, which is the real magic, the auto-editing feature itself. This is where the tool takes those flagged viral parts from your long file and automatically transforms them into genuinely ready-to-post edits, which includes trimming unnecessary fluff, adding sharp jump cuts, implementing quick zooms or dynamic angle switches if you shot to multicam, and generating polished captions all in one go. Crucially, the captions come out as a complete package where you can select styles, single line or double line, set precise character limits, define the font, size, background box properties, the exact corner radius, and shadow intensity, all from one place. Once you've created your perfect combination, you save that entire configuration as a style preset, meaning you create your look once and apply it everywhere instantly. That preset application capability is absolutely huge when you compare it back to the manual process. In Premiere, I was forced to painstakingly tweak captions on nearly every single clip individually, but with this tool, you set your entire caption style template, and every generated clip can inherit that entire look with one click. Let's talk audio quality for a moment. The platform intelligently scans all the tracks and automatically selects the cleanest available source or smoothly blends in a backup lavalier track if the main studio mic briefly dipped in quality. Think about that moment where a guest leaned back and wasn't speaking directly into their designated lavalier mic. The tool flagged the better audio source from another track and used it automatically, saving you from having to solo tracks and hunt down the precise fix. Now, let's quickly compare this system to other tools you might already be using. Yes, Premiere Pro is undeniably powerful, offering you granular control, professional-grade color grading tools, and nuanced editing capabilities for complex projects. However, that power comes at a steep price. It is an undeniable, massive time sink for repurposing tasks like this. Then you have the single-purpose tools that might only handle auto captions or perhaps only manage post-scheduling. These are often cheap but inherently limited in what they can actually accomplish for you. Some other specialty applications operate on a pay-per-minute export model, or they hide essential automation features behind incredibly chunky, expensive enterprise-level pricing tiers. The platform, in my experience, hits that perfect sweet spot. It's much broader in scope than a simple captioning app. It's significantly faster than any manual editing process, and it integrates both scheduling and a content calendar natively into the platform. In short, it's simply more integrated and far less fiddly for the high-volume creator. Speaking specifically about achieving a consistent visual look, I still prefer to manually apply my signature LUTs and make minor color corrections, especially when mixing different camera brands like a Red alongside a Canon or Sony, which can look different natively. In Premiere, I would achieve this by loading a universal adjustment layer and dropping my input LUT onto everything beneath it for global consistency. The platform offers a very similar global color tweak step right during the export stage, allowing you to apply a subtle master LUT or use an auto match color feature across all angles so that the final output clip looks cohesive. It's important to note this isn't as deep as spending an hour grading in the dedicated color panel, but for social clips where pure speed is the primary objective, this level of consistency is absolutely perfect for maintaining a cohesive feed aesthetic. My favorite specific trick in the platform has to be the advanced pause removal feature, because let's be honest, nobody wants to sit through awkward, dead air silences in short-form content. While multi-camera setups help mask simple cuts, the tool intelligently goes several steps further by automatically trimming those unnecessary pauses, and, critically, it chooses cut points that feel natural, often smoothly switching to a different camera angle, specifically to cover the edit seamlessly. That small but powerful feature is what truly transforms what could have been a choppy, disjointed cut into something that plays smooth, keeps the viewer engaged, and actively maintains the energy of the conversation. Once all of your clips have been flawlessly generated and fully styled with your preset, the auto-schedule feature kicks in, allowing you to dictate exactly what your posting frequency should look like going forward. You simply tell the system how often you want content to go out, perhaps 4 times per week, and the platform automatically queues those posts across your connected platforms, eliminating the need for tedious manual uploading on a daily basis. Then there's the content calendar, which solves that universal organizational question. Where did we put that specific clip for next Tuesday? You can visually rearrange posts in the calendar, preview exactly how the captions will look on different platforms, review platform-specific crops, and even adjust precise posting times based on viewer time zones. Compared to constantly bouncing between third-party schedulers, platform creator studios, and updating a massive Google Sheet, this becomes an incredibly elegant, single place to manage your entire publishing strategy. As a practical final tip, I still strongly recommend that you add a human quality pass over the AI-generated output for every single clip. Automated tools are phenomenal at surfacing the strongest conversational parts, but final context always matters. Sometimes a line needs a tiny 1-second trim, or the AI might have cut a caption mid-sentence, requiring you to fix the capitalization. Thankfully, the tool makes these micro-edits incredibly quick, because you can adjust caption timing, swap out a camera angle on the fly, or change a font size in mere seconds. This means you get the incredible speed advantage of full automation without ever having to truly sacrifice the final layer of quality control. Just a quick note regarding cost and fit. If you are deeply invested in your current software ecosystem and genuinely prefer having that absolute granular control over every single frame, then by all means, stick with your existing editor for your heaviest, most complex projects. However, if your primary business goal is achieving high volume, managing multiple podcasts, daily repurposing needs, or building an extremely consistent feed, then investing your learning time into a tool that automates discovery, editing, captioning, and scheduling will provide an exponential return on investment. Other auto editors often force you into a pay per export model, or they have severely limited scheduling capabilities that break down completely at scale. The platform successfully bundles the entire video content pipeline in a way that genuinely scales your output without requiring you to officially become a full-time dedicated editor overnight. To quickly summarize the playbook I executed on this entire massive episode: first, upload the long file, let it automatically sync and transcribe everything, then review the AI-picked highlights for approval, apply your saved caption style preset, make a minor color adjustment, run the full auto edit, and finally, schedule all the resulting clips to post over the next week. The total time saved, moving from a 3-hour episode to a full week's worth of finalized clips, was dramatically less than trying to accomplish the same result using Premiere from start to finish. Alright, that is everything for today's deep dive into ultra-efficient repurposing. If you want to actually try this exact flow for yourself, I have dropped the starter files. That's the long podcast footage and some raw camera angles down in the description below for you to download. Go ahead and play around with those caption presets, really test out the AI auto-edit picks, and never be afraid to run that quick human pass after the AI has done the heavy lifting. If this video gets good engagement, I can absolutely walk through a real-time side-by-side comparison next time, showing the Premiere manual process versus the automated result. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Alex, Sean, Val, I genuinely appreciate you all tuning in. Catch you all in the next video, and happy clipping.